Hey, this is Anney.
And Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio.
And for today's Monday Mini, we are talking about a very timely topic, as in, like, we need to put a timestamp on it. It is September 23rd, 2025. Yes, we are a little bit ahead, y'all, because I'm going to be gone. Anyway, we are talking about the current rapture that is supposed to be taking place as we speak. It was supposed to happen today. Apparently, they are also giving it leeway till tomorrow, whatever. However, as you have learned, we are here today, if you're listening to this, and we've been one of the many that have been left behind. And if you're listening, so have you. So, condolences to us all? Question mark? No? Okay. So, yes. Anney, what were you told about the Rapture? Did you read the Left Behind series?
I did read the Left Behind series.
I knew it.
I think I've told this story before, but I had a really religious teacher in 8th grade. And by that point, I was already an atheist. And was like, please read this. It's very important. And I did. And that's when he told me, it's like, I'm watching you running off a cliff and I'm just trying to stop you. And I was like, okay. I remember, I'm sure I must have known about the rapture. I was very religious at one point, but I remember thinking how weird it was that their clothes were left behind. Like, it's just their clothes, which I've seen a lot of stuff written about that today, about what will you be wearing? What will be left behind? Like, oh, I've never really put that much thought into it, I guess.
Because you'll never be able to change into anything else.
Yeah, that's right.
Or you're going to be naked. One of the two things, apparently. Or the robe will be given to you, the robe. And I guess I should go ahead and put this caveat here. Apologies if I sound very cynical and laughing. Please note, if you have these religious beliefs and you are feeling some type of way, you probably don't want to listen to this. If you did get raptured, congratulations.
You think they're listening from?
I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. All of that to say, or if you've known people who have been raptured, let us know. I would love to know about that. But all that to say is, yes, we do come from an atheistic point of view in this. We are going to bring up some of the things that have been on religious sites because, yes, I have once again damaged my search engine with a lot of religious sites. But with that, yeah, if you are religious, there's no judgment on that part. Religion can be an amazing part of your life. Being faithful is wonderful, and having faith in something is all in your personal decision. You putting it onto others and then judging and using things to use hate in the name of whatever your religious beliefs are, absolutely disagree with you. So you're not going to like this anyway. So anyway, so with all of that, what is the rapture? According to gotquestions.org, it is a religious site. They do believe in the end times, but not necessarily the rapture. I should put that as a note. It is when God takes all the holy people and believers off the earth in order for him to bring judgment on the earth and all the heathens with it. There's a lot of different contexts. There's a little conversation about whether or not there's a second coming. There's a first and then a second, and then how that goes and what those timelines look like. There's a debate about whether heaven is actually on earth or you actually go to a whole different place, a different planet. If you're other religions, like there's a lot of debate in all of those conversations. What I was taught is that, yes, we actually get removed from this earth as a person who grew up in a church that did not also ever have the word rapture in their vocabulary. I don't even think they had the apocalypse in their vocabulary. They just said end times, when Jesus comes back, essentially, when Jesus comes back and brings the dead. And in their beliefs, my parents, I was taught that the first has already happened. Those were the same, that it happened when Jesus arose from the dead. He took people with him then. That was one of the beliefs. There's a lot. So from defector.com, who seems to be one of those who are talking about as they're no longer believers, what they have learned and trying to unlearn. They say this, that people are literally being lifted. So according to a lot of what we are seeing today in this conversation is that we're going to see people being lifted into the sky. That would be interesting. Quote, people on TikTok presently are giving advice to look up when you are levitated into the air and, quote, pray that you aren't on the toilet. Evangelicals on TikTok are warning each other to make sure to leave their phones unlocked and to leave their non-believer spouses and partners the passwords they will need to survive the rapture's aftermath. They, the Christians, will be flying up to meet God in the next couple of days. So just recently, if you're wondering what we're talking about, a South African pastor decided to announce the newest day of the rapture for the 23rd or the 24th. Gave us a little bit of time of this month. So today or tomorrow as we record, not necessarily when you listen. And I found this really inconvenient because I'm actually flying on the 24th, and I'm like, why?
That's in Left Behind. Yes.
Yes, it is. I forgot, but yes, you're right. And just to clarify, the rapture, a word not actually found in the Bible, began in the 1830s by John Nelson Darby, an American evangelist. And this is during the hellfire brimstone era, I believe. And there is talk of end times in the Bible. Yes. Book of Revelation is often used in reference to that end times and apocalypse. And many people use it to add some nonsensical math together to predict an end time. I know there was a shaker, I believe, David, who used, I want to say Jeremiah as his calculations. Could have been Kings. Once upon a time, I actually knew this stuff in college. It's been a long, long time. I did a lot of religious, apocalyptic religion. That was one of my main, favorite subjects. But all of that to say, so they take a lot from the Revelation as literal evidence of things to come. However, many other theologians attribute the book of Revelations as notes and messages to the Christian church of the earlier time as they were being persecuted. So literally John, who was credited in writing this specific book in the Bible, was going through some harsh persecutions. They were being come after. So historically, and many different people have truly latched onto these days. I will be honest, I thought when I first saw all of this popping up on my For You page, I thought it was all satire. Because I will say I have yet to get anybody who truly believes giving all these instructions. I've only seen stitches of people countering it. I've gotten a lot of pastors and Catholic priests coming in. This is not a thing. Stop this. So I've gotten that. But so I'm just seeing the reactionary side. But I really thought it was all jokes because I can no longer trust what's on social media. Not that I ever really did, to be honest.
I got one. A friend of mine sent me something today, and I couldn't tell if it was a joke or not because I was like, she seems serious, but what she's saying is so comical. I can't. She was talking about wearing clean underwear, you don't want your dirty underwear left behind.
I mean, that's the advice on road trips.
I mean, wearing clean underwear is generally good advice.
There's no harm in that. There's no harm in that. Yeah. So it took me a little while to figure out they weren't joking. In which I was like, oh, we're back here again. Because the last time I feel like we had this was 2000, the turning of the year from 1999 to 2000. And everybody's like, oh my God, the world is going to end. Well, the prediction was this. People were getting batteries and flashlights and water. Part of that was they didn't think that technology would transfer because of the 0-0.
Yeah.
Which may have been, there was a glitch. There was, I think, a real concern because there was a glitch because when it was started, no one thought that they would go beyond that because of the same apocalyptic ideals.
Yeah. There was a big one in 2012. I remember that one.
Oh, was there?
My calendar.
I must have been out of the loop.
Mm-hmm.
I was out of the loop at that point.
I mean, Roland Emmerich made a whole movie, 2012. Yeah.
Yeah, I missed that. I didn't watch that either. So there were some examples that were shown from specifically TikTok about people talking about and giving advice. One was saying, so I told you guys that every day I'm doing something to prep my home for whoever is here after the rapture. So let me show you what I did today. And she does all these different printouts and she had a whole book. I saw this as a snitch about things, information for her family, for people, leaving money, telling them what to do, giving them advice. And then there was a whole printout, apparently, that had like a title with 7 seals, trumpets, and bowls, which is a part of the Revelation conversation. Because I believe the South African pastor did reference the 7 seals and 7 trumpets as a sign. Not heard anything yet. I did see, again, a satirical post where it'd be like, if you can play a trumpet, I think it's your time to shine. Kind of cold, but and it was the different one saying, it's bittersweet because I know we're going home, but it's just been such a blessing to be able to do this. And then she goes on, with all my heart, all these things. She wanted to talk about the coming in the Feast of the Trumpets, And then she said, also clarified and said, if it doesn't happen, because I will make an apology video. I haven't seen that video yet. Jesus is coming, ready or not. And if you don't know Jesus, if you don't know if you're saved, if you question your salvation, the Bible tells us clearly, believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, believe that he died on the cross for all of your sins. So witnessing as she goes, apparently. And I've seen other people talking about things, including people talking about the fact that a woman actually sold her house in preparation for the rapture. Another person sold their car in preparation. There was an Uber driver, and I don't know, and I say this as like, there's no real evidence of this happening. I haven't really seen anybody like showing you receipts of them actually doing these things. So I don't know how much of this is parody, but a dude came in showing who was an Uber driver, and he's a pretty popular content creator, but like he had a wad of cash in a cup. And he said this couple got in the car saying that Jesus told them, since they couldn't take the money with them, to bless as many people so that they would be ready for the next coming. And he got like $1,900 and some change. Technically, by my church's definition of salvation, I should be good to go. So I might not be here tomorrow. Anney, you may have my things. You and my partner can split my items. I guess he will give you some things.
You're very convinced neither of us are going.
Because under my church's qualification, I don't think you could. Not specifically about whether or not you're a good person or whether or not you actually do. Sure. According to my church that I grew up in, their quality, you cannot. I'm sorry.
Got it.
You have to go in front of the church or somewhere and wail for a long time and have that moment where you just absolutely know, because you have to know when you are lost. Do you know when you are lost, Anney?
I generally feel a little lost.
Then you're not ready. Anyway, I mean, I do feel that now. But all of that to say, yeah, there's so much to be said about this rapture. I feel like at this point, people are willing to believe because it feels like everything's on fire. And then the debate going back and forth about like a lot of the atheists are like, well, the people who were sure that they're leaving, that's wonderful. Maybe we can practice healthcare, universal healthcare, and everything else. But then again, I don't know. I mean, many Christians, many of believers that I have seen are absolutely not in agreement with this. And many of them would say there's no such thing as being able to define and give dates that goes against everything in the Bible that they have read, that we are not supposed to know because we are not the all-knowing person that we are worshiping or who we believe in. And that makes a lot more sense to me, I think. Many of the Christians, again, are just as baffled by this proclamation. And from what I understand, a lot of Catholics don't even believe in rapture, period. So there's a lot to be said. Again, it goes back and forth. They have the whole 122,000. People take that very literally as well. We've talked about this in a religious trauma episode, because you also talked about the fact that this type of hell and all brimstone was really traumatizing. And that's kind of the purpose, so it seems. But all of that to say, we still have one more day, technically. So by the time this is released, we should have some answers. And I will be interested in to know what has happened.
It'll just be me talking
by yourself.
Well,
that's, again, it's according to whose interpretation is right.
Yeah. Well, I'm out. I think I'm out officially. I
think I'm more out than not, because my family's church is more of the minority in this. scenario in the congregations.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also the least educated. One of the least educated, because they truly do not believe in theology and think that it's sin to learn too much. So, you know.
I would be interested to look into this more, because I wonder if there's any, I don't know. I wonder if there is any relation between chaos or turmoil in the world and these dates, or if they just are. Like, I know the Mayan calendar one was a kind of separate issue, but I would be curious to know more.
Yeah, and I try to look it up in relations to like women and marginalized people. There really wasn't any variations. It just popped up about how individual women were doing some things. And honestly, those individual women seem more caring and trying to leave stuff behind for people to be able to care for themselves. So that seemed nice.
I have to say, I appreciate that. That's very nice. I mean, I don't legitimately, I know we are kind of making a little bit of fun, but legitimately, I don't want anybody to lose money or their house or their car because of an idea that maybe was sold to them. But I do think it is nice, if you truly believe that, to be like, okay,
give it away, to know. And then there was some conversation about people giving things away to try to buy their way into heaven, which that was a part of Left Behind series, that people were doing that, trying to negotiate their way in. I did also see, just to add this out there, an insurance person, a person who worked in insurance, get an email or a message asking what that looks like if they have insurance to cover the rapture.
Oh, that's interesting, because usually a lot of those companies have that thing, that disclaimer that's like, we don't cover an event of God or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, like floods and such.
Yeah. Ooh. Interesting debate. Okay. This is funny, too, because last night I learned about Labubu Pazuzu.
What?
Which I didn't know was a thing.
What is that?
Pazuzu is a demon from The Exorcist. And so I guess, I mean, I can't unsee it now that I've read that article, but Labubu kind of looks like Pazuzu. So it's got all caught up into this whole situation.
Really? There's so much, because also, as I was looking it up, as we come into a spooky season, talking about how much apocalyptic horror there is.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to come back to that. We have a lot of, I'm excited. We have a lot of good horror ideas, but one of them is potentially like religious horror, like The Conjuring or something like that, which there is a lot of ground to cover there. Because you're right, I was terrified of hell growing up. I was terrified of demons. My mom wouldn't let me have The Exorcist in the house, the movie. And now, even though I don't really believe in that stuff, I still watch those things and I get nervous.
Right. I did see someone talk about Pokemon being pocket demons, and that wasn't allowed in the house either.
Yeah. That's kind of a bigger conversation, maybe not for our podcast, but we could probably do it. But that kind of thing where something gets really popular, like D&D had that kind of satanic panic.
Still, it came back.
Yeah. Pokemon, I'm sure so many other things have been wrapped up into that. But yeah, right now, the Boo Pazuzu is the thing. So
that is, I'm not looking it up. Not doing it.
Don't look it up. Don't do it to yourself. Don't. Oh, well, listeners, we hope you're well.
Yes, tell us if you can, if I'm still here, what's happening with you?
Yeah. Yes. Well, you can contact us. You can contact me, at least, through a variety of ways. You can email me at hello@stuffI'venevertold.com. You can find us on Blue Sky at Mom Stuff Podcast, or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff I Never Told You. We're also on YouTube. We have new merchandise at Cotton Bureau, and we have a book you can get wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer Christina, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.